Morning. Yeah, meet you and me both. But there's not much happening right now, it doesn't look like. I don't know. It's just random. It's like the only move in its entire history. I usually try to stay away from I usually try to stay away from stocks like that. I'm not saying it can't work. It's just, it's not a proven winner. I would rather just find names that have already made the move. You know, find proven winners. This one's kind of random, right? Showed you one time it had a good burst of energy. Other than that, in its history, not much. But that's not to say it can't work. Move up, went sideways, got tight, and then it worked again one other time. But I can't do anything with that. My main focus this morning is going to be ALB, Albumir, or whatever the hell. Al, I don't know. I don't even know how to say that, but yeah. I got a few things I like this morning. Cardinal Health also looks pretty dang good. Smolina Health needs a little bit longer. It's kind of slow too. But the CQP looks pretty good as well. It's just a touch thin. But man, that's a nice base. This WWE needs a little bit of work as well, but maybe a cup and handle. Yeah, look, this looks pretty damn good too. Would need a healthier market, but looks good. Looks damn good. AEHR as well, which I own. I may be considering adding some today. We'll see. Adding some back. But maybe not. Who knows? I'm disappointed I missed NOC a couple days ago, man. That's just terrible. Can't be doing shit like that. Too bad. I had it out watch too. I just messed up. But yeah, CAH ALB. ALB's my number one this morning. It's just a very, very nice chart in my opinion. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on it first thing. There are definitely charts. It's just few and in between, and that's the real problem. CAHLB, only chart I'm looking at this morning. Yeah. A few more days, man. I really still think, this market's probably got one final capitulation in it. I don't know. I haven't really seen the panic selling just yet. And this has been a real bear market. So, be nice to see a limit down day. It would be nice to see, if you're into the kind of fundamental thing, the PE ratio for the S&P 500 come down to fair value. It's probably somewhere around 3,200 or 320 to $300. Watch the VIX spike up. That would be nice. A limit down day would be great. Just like get all that shit out the way. But the S&P down to 3,200 would be great. Not too much further, and it's just been like controlled selling every single day. There's been like no real fear in this market. It's just been controlled. But CAHLB, it's kind of where my eyes are.
Do you have AA batteries by chance?
I think I do. Yeah. For your remote?
Yeah, I need to. That's people good.
Oh. The other one's got just enough juice. I can't even believe the Twitter chart's still holding up that well, huh? He's really buying Twitter. Swap needs a little bit of work. Dude, a lot of charts that looked so good got absolutely crushed. Yeah, ALB, CAH. They're the only real nice charts that I'm seeing. AMLX still a beast. So is CCRN and IRDM, but ALB. That's it. I don't really see too much. Oh wow.
Is it downside?
VIX?
Yeah.
No, upside.
It looks like it's gonna have a red day.
No, I don't do. I don't trade options. I don't trade any options. It's uh, it's just something I don't really understand well. I know I got to deal with expiration dates and you know, some Greek letters I don't really understand too well, and you know, selling calls or puts or buying calls or puts. It's just all way more complicated than just buying a breakout at a certain level and knowing how much of it you have to buy. I mean, I'm sure it's fairly similar with options, but then you got to pick an expiration date and a strike price, and I just don't want to leave my shares until I get stopped out. It's much easier. Just trim some on the way up, and then you just sit in stuff like IRDM. What if IRDM just consolidated for another 3 weeks, and then it just never stops me out, and then it keeps going? Like, then I'd have to be dealing with what was my expiration date, what was the strike price at that point, and it's like it's just a bunch of fucking nonsense, because consolidation, from what I've heard, just destroys your options. So I want to be able to sit in a consolidation as long as my rules aren't violated. I don't really care about a consolidation, no big deal. But when you trade options, I know that that you know that your premium, I guess, gets killed. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking out my ass, but these are the things that I've heard. Sure you don't want a water, bro?
No, right now, absolutely.
I heard Google selected Coinbase for something about their transactions. Oh yeah, wow. Wow, what a move. Interesting. You know, this Bitcoin's been showing tons of resilience too. Just refuses to see new lows, and the market has been seeing new lows. I'm starting to wonder how much more market pressure it would take to really have this crack under 17 or 17.5. Would be interesting. Good morning. There's only two names I'm even bothering to look at this morning. CAH and ALB. CAH, Cardinal Health.
And ALB.
ALB.
Alright.
Yeah, Cardinal Health and whatever, that one lithium company. I don't really see much else. And that's the problem, too, honestly. Might just be a good day to sit on the sidelines. Unless you see something that's, possibly worth a day trade or something, but
This AMV be worth a day trade. Recent IPO.
oh god, you're tripping.
But on the hourly, look on the
Yeah, I see the pop up, but dude, it's up $5, man. This thing's way too thin. You know, that's sometimes the only problem. Like, I want to get 100 or 200 grand to work, and buying 10,000 shares of something that's already up $4 or $5 like that. Last thing I need to do is even buy 5,000 shares and then catch a $3 move down.
yeah.
Oh, and I guess that you'd have to know that and then just size, properly. Yeah, CEG's awesome. It's just not a setup yet. It's just, I mean, it could be actually. If you want to buy like a dip buy setup, and obviously this thing's dipping, you're not really buying the breakout, you're buying it as it's pushing back up. This actually could very well be a setup. Over 85 and a half basically. I like CEG too. Constellation, I'm kind of disappointed at myself. I was watching it down here this entire time, just underneath the 200, and I was like, wanting to buy it as it turned back up, and it just gapped up the same day that EMPH did on earnings. And I just never bought it. I thought this gap up was massive on no news, and I didn't buy it. And, instantly regretted it 3 weeks later. And I was watching them. I mean, I'm familiar with Constellation because I'm from Illinois, and I know that they run nuclear power plants out here. I'm super familiar with any everything nuclear. So, hey, come on, girl. Too early for this. Yeah, CG's amazing. The weekly's probably starting to shape up nicely here. Yeah, weekly's taking some awesome shape too. Constellation. Yeah, I like them. I like them a lot. But like I said, it's probably a good day to sit on the sidelines, honestly. The market's far from in an uptrend. You know, I still have plenty of exposure open. It's IRDM, CCRN, AMLX. I mean, this CCRN's just been an absolute beauty. That was funny. I almost got stopped out here too, but nope. AMLX looks amazing. This BSM I might end up trimming a little bit more. So I'm not giving it too much more room to come all the way back on me. A close below the 10 and I'm out. Same thing with this Lily. A close below this 20. Same thing with VRTX if it closes below this 200 on the 60 minute. A lot of these things are just kind of hanging out around some of them around my average, some of them are looking good. REGN pushed right back up, like bounced right off my average yesterday. It was nice. Yeah, I also use MarketSmith, but it's just for checking fundamentals. I don't actually sit there and scan with it. Like once I've got my list, I then just go and search up the individual tickers. But there are scanners using MarketSmith, like Minervini's got one, and Bill O'Neill's got one. But everything that I find, it just comes right off a toss, basically. I also use FinViz too, but it's really just to, like, once I've got like a sector in mind, then I just go look for other names in that sector and usually sort by market cap down and just look at the biggest names first. If the biggest names kind of look like shit, I really try not to focus on any of the cheap ones. Guys, market's about to open. Good luck here.
RAKR GCI PSTV GPOX GPOX TPOF GPOX JTBK
Hey, girl, come on.
GPOX GPOX FRG KSSRF IF KSSRF JTBK Wind Lucy S Lucy PSHG RKLY RKLY. PEGY. PEGY. Tops, RKLY. CRKN. CRKN.
Girl.
Send. BOXR. HADB. CRKN. STCXF. CRKN. CGSI.
You know, it's a decent little daily, Sean.
Hmm.
It's just kind of slow. Allstate, ALL. That's a hell of a base on the daily, man.
AXIM. HKD.
No way.
That means it's flushing.
Oh. Yeah. How'd you know? How'd you know it meant it was flushing?
Because of the sound.
How?
The my scanner, when it's, I've heard it so many times, it makes a certain tone when it's flushing versus when it's
AMV?
ripping. Huh?
AMV?
NURL.
Yeah, I can't do it. It could work though.
NMDBF. NURL. CRTD.
Yeah, Wing was on my scan yesterday. A little bit more time. This thing's starting to look good though.
Yale. Yale. ASHG. CRTD. Yale. Yale. BCII. MMM. MMM.
Yeah, this one's just kind of been hanging out. It's impressive actually. Yeah, nerve might have not been so bad today if you bought it over yesterday's high, 2560 or 1060s. It's not bad at all.
Sraf. No.
I'm just still kind of, yeah, CCRN's awesome. AMLX is cool too.
Sraf.
This John Deere's real slow too, but it looks like it wants to finally go higher as well. This John Deere looks good. Same thing with Allstate. I mean, there are some names out there, some like names that you're familiar with that are looking pretty damn good.
Send. No. EBFM, WETG. Send. Tops. SLGWF. BGXX.
Yeah, I was just waiting for Netflix to finally hit my alert, and it just hasn't done it. So, yeah, it's can only go one of two ways, right? Up or down.
APCX. HLBZ, HLBZ, APCX, TENX, SMFL,
And ALB as well. Just kind of eyeballing ALB.
QTNT, VOXR, QTNT, APCX, VOXR, FOXL,
I've had no alerts trigger this morning, so just sitting on my hands. It's too bad. Sark stopped me out the other day. It's crazy. What a move.
FOXO.
Sucks.
Gram.
What a move. What a move by Sark.
Gram. BGFC. HLBZ. ATNX.
Had the right idea. Nothing to do out here. Literally.
BSGM. Command. GWAVKPRS. Gram. Vino. IONQ. BSGN.
Cardinal Health. CAH.
TTS. GPLDF. TENX. HLBZ. 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 LYT HLBZ HLBZ LYT HLBZ LYT 10 GPLDF 'Tops BBLG BBLG EVFM.
Yeah, Cardinal Health's had a nice little look to it. I took a little starter. We'll see what ends up happening with it. Can't say I enjoy getting too aggressive out here. Oh yeah, tasty. Do you see CAH?
Yeah. Cardinal Health.
Mm-hmm.
You got in there at 69?
69.10.
VOXR.
Yeah, I might consider adding to Cardinal tomorrow, maybe, or if if this name's kind of stays strong over 70. I mean, maybe even I'll add to it today if it gets over there, but nothing just yet. I added a piece. We'll see if it holds. 50-cent risk. It was really nothing. There you go, sir.
LYT. Miliv.
CCRN's getting better and better. Hopefully this thing just tightens up some more. Would be nice to
Right.
add to it.
TGLO. WTTT. LMDX. ATNX. LYT. CNXA. TNX. ENSC. ALYI. CRVP, CRVP.
Boring day. All my positions have pretty much come down here, but some are finding support kind of where they're supposed to. The strong names like CCR and AMLX look just fine. Lily looking a little weak, and below this 20 I'm cutting it, so if it closes down here, unfortunately I will be out of that name. AEHR still holding up pretty well. Basically right back at my average though, but I did trim, a third, so we'll see. It would be nice to see this TLT hold up and dollar maybe come down. Would be sweet. ALB not really doing much. REGN starting to look real good too. This thing might be a good ad tomorrow if it closed like this. VRTX, that's not cool.
BYFMF. Okay. RAKR.
Yeah, some banking names do look good. RJF was one I noticed a while ago. Raymond James Financial is just kind of tightening up here.
The Bank of Montreal.
IBKR.
FN,
Oh, that's the inverse though, isn't it?
FNGD.
Yeah. That's like the leveraged triple leveraged. But it's also when things go down, it's the inverse. Not necessarily the one we want to see going up.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it the inverse to?
The whatever the banking ETF is. Yeah, WRB looks awesome. I've also got an alert on this thing. We'll see.
GSW.
Today might not be the day for ALB. REGN looks good.
York.
A few of these names need some more work. AHR, nice.
OPGN. GSMGW. CSXA. GSGW.
I can't believe these names are still getting the pump. MEGL, huh? Turd. It's probably because HKD.
RNGY. AREB.
AREB. WWE. Smell what the Rock is cooking? It's not an ugly chart either, Laugh. WWE.
Roy.
No, it's not. It's actually forming a cup and handle.
Yeah, it's a nice chart.
GMER.
Cardinal Health acting really well too. These are all going to need a healthy market. Every single one of these names is going to need a nice solid market. So if you are going to take anything, just make sure you're sizing properly. That's my best recommendation. We are definitely in a downtrend still. We are definitely in a downtrend. But if the market does push higher, I mean, I think, some of these names could work, especially like these healthcare, biotech, pharma names. Like this CAH, this is a nice ass chart, you know. And I'd like to add, a couple more times, maybe something over 70, and then maybe something over 71 and a half. And then, at that point, have maybe a little bit more than a full position. Is kind of how I'd like to play it. Sounds like HKD's going. Yeah, these will all keep going. And here's the thing, names that are already at or chilling at near highs in this market, like when the market's this down, those are the names most likely to work down the road. And biotech, healthcare, pharma names, they've been showing the most relative strength. So I believe that when our market's done correcting, these are the names that are going to go on to be your biggest winners. These are the names that double or 50% probably in the next couple of months. Like, I will not be surprised to see CAH, somewhere near 90 probably. 20%. Yeah, probably somewhere in the mid 80s even. Would just be my guess. I mean, this is a beautiful flag. It's in the right sector. It just, all this shit requires a healthy market. But, as long as you're catching nice entries, like we did on CAH right over yesterday's high, I mean, this shit's perfect. It's just going to need a better market. And I didn't get too aggressive, but, I definitely own a nice fair piece of it. And then we'll see if it continues. I probably won't add to it today. I've already took a pretty healthy position anyway. So I probably won't be adding too much to it, but yeah, this is kind of the expectation I had for a chart like this, honestly. We'll see. It's early. REGN, nice. VRTX still acting well. This thing's got to close below the 20 for me to exit, so it's got room to work. Really, it closed below the 200 on the 60-minute chart. AHR, LLY. LLY bouncing literally perfectly. Higher low, bouncing right on the 20. Perfect. We'll see how it closes, but if it closes today's lows, I'll cut it. But it's bouncing for right now. It's bouncing right where it should. BSM bounced right on my average. I did trim some. I didn't really have a big position because, I was buying it like as it was coming out of this range. So I was already buying it, something kind of extended. So I did trim literally one day before it made its highs. And then, we'll just kind of hold on to the rest and see how it performs. Yeah, most of these names, AMLX acting really well. I've moved up my stop on AMLX as well. I'll close below the 10 on the daily until the 20 catches up to my price, or my average, should I say. I also haven't sold any AMLX either. CCRN I have sold a piece, and I'm using the stop a close below the 20. Really a close below these 2 wicks down here. And IRDM, I was using the 20, which is above my average, but I kind of tightened it up, tightened everything up in this market. But yeah, I'm not going to complain. My positions are acting well. And again, in this market, it's like finding diamonds in the rough. REGN bombs perfectly. I didn't sell any of this either. So yeah, it's been shitty watching a lot of these have to come back. But, you know, they're finding support right where I'd like them to, or right where I feel like they're supposed to. And if they do that, you know, it's just raising my conviction to just be more patient on some of these names. So REGN at this point, my stop is basically my average, is a close below, you know, the 100 on the hourly. So as long as that continues to hold, then I will hold, you know, my position in that name. This one can still be red VRTX, but I don't have a big position at all. Nothing where it would even matter. Be like a $2 loss on perfect size, so the loss would be totally irrelevant. Would love to see it go though. CCR and AMLX look like big future winners, honestly. AMLX was one of the first names to start this biotech move. All of them back in 6.3. It led all names basically. AHR starting to look better and better too, honestly. A few more days and this one might be a good one to add to if it sets up properly. Fast mover, so you size down on it, that's all. I'm just kind of waiting for this ALB to hit trigger. If it does, happy to buy it. Maybe even over today's highs, honestly. That red-green move would be awesome. But I would size down on something like that. CAH. You're looking to buy CAH over 70. I got it over yesterday's high, 69.10. Same with WWE, right over yesterday's high. I sized down though. Wasn't really a tight day yesterday, but cup and handle setup. Not to mention this name's been showing already really awesome strength, so just size down. But yeah, CAH next entry 70, but again, it's $1.50 risk now versus like the 50 cents I was risking. So, I don't know. Over 70 could be a good buy. It just have to be on smaller size. So, I was ready for it first thing this morning. But that's not to say it can't keep going. I just won't add to it. I'm not going to bring up my average. If this market were ripping higher, then I would do it. But this market's not ripping higher. But if it were, I would be all over it. I'd be all over it for the ads. But I'm happy to own my average, honestly. 69.10 is perfect. Literally, right there is my average. But yeah, I'm in no hurry to add. This is kind of, if you guys want a really good example of a low cheat, this would be it. Because this isn't a breakout, right? So look at the chart. It's not a breakout. Breakouts over all-time highs. That's what breakouts are. Or at highs. You know, this isn't at highs. This is a low cheat. That's exactly what Mark Minervini would consider a low cheat, I believe. I'm almost certain of it. Well, GPC is something totally different. Genuine Parts Company. I actually came across this ticker yesterday, but the ADR was way too slow for me to even consider it. Moves 1.9% a day, where Cardinal Health's not much faster, but a 0.25% faster. But believe me, it's not much faster. So I just liked CAH more because of the sector that it's in. But GPC is definitely was a nice chart, and you know, it's beautiful, actually. But I just kind of passed on it. But I did scan for it. It was on my radar yesterday. You know, this base down here was awesome. This entire base was awesome when you zoom out on it. And then right here, it had a shake in the base. This entire thing, that's a shake right there. And instantly got right back up above and stayed in its range. It's a perfect chart. Literally perfect. But I did just pass on it. I still have plenty of positions open. But yeah, Genuine Parts Company. I actually almost traded them a while back from that base I showed you, and their fundamentals are solid. So. But yeah, the CAH was nice. Easy to execute on something like this too. This is pretty much the simplest setup on planet Earth. In the right sector, decent fundamentals, building higher lows, got above moving averages, put in a super tight day yesterday. I mean, you know, an inside day, a green day, what they call strong inside. You know, had a pullback, still held the 20, and then perked up, and then, you know, closed pretty well. You know, you would say that that's a strong inside bar close. It closed inside 10.7's range, you know, 10.10, but it was a green day. You know, closed right up near 10.7's close, or 10.7's highs. You know, strong inside day. That's what you would call that. It's such a easy setup to remember, guys. It's like the easiest fucking setup on planet Earth. You don't need to know anything else other than this CAH setup to make tons of money. As long as it's in the right sector. It's a big part of the battle. And then, you know, how's the market? You know, if this were an even healthier market, I would have got much more aggressive. I would have got way more aggressive. But the market sucks ass. So, just size down. That's it. Yeah, there really is nothing happening today. There's really nothing happening today. Nice. WWE. You smell what The Rock is cooking? Nice push out by WWE.
Seal. GMBD.
So Alpha going down?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a few days now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like my two ads are working awesome, honestly, and I don't really see shit else to do today. So I could be pretty happy about that. About the first 90 minutes started as good as I could have. Oh, VRTX, beautiful. First 90 minutes started about as good as I could have asked for, honestly. I don't really see shit else to do here. This ALB might not trigger, so I wouldn't even buy it today, even if it did. CAH looks like it's on a mission, honestly. Every time frame looks fucking awesome. Nah, VRTX I bought days ago, man. I bought VRTX on 10.3. I bought VRTX right here. But when I bought it, I was already using a close below the 50. So I'd sized in actually I lied. I think I was just using low of day that day. Over the previous day. The day that I bought it. On 10.3. And then once it pushed out, I was using the 20 right away. So I was willing to watch all the gains go back. Holy spy. Hello. That'll definitely help a couple of the names I just bought. That's for sure. If the market's gonna rip like that, that's absolutely gonna help the names I'm in. Especially any new breakouts that you're in, it just helps push price that much further away from your average, and then any market pullback, really, you're able to comfortably hold. Like CAH, you know, my stop is low of day here, but that's already basically the 20 moving average on the daily. That's why I really enjoy buying things when they're super tight. You know, you can already start to show big patience in your trade because you know where your stop out is essentially the 20 on the daily. I mean, that's, you couldn't ask for a better push out this morning, and a scenario to find yourself in. That's about as good a best case scenarios you're going to find yourself in. You know, REGN right now I'm using a pretty much a close below yesterday's low, but in a couple of days I might be using the 20 as well. You know, even though I'm up about $25 a share, I'm still willing to watch it come back on me. You know, because I think that this thing can go to 1,000. You know, or 850, 900. I have no idea, but much higher. It's a leading name in a leading sector. It's exactly why I don't want to sell any of these. Like LLY, you know, another higher low potentially, and this thing just goes sideways, tighten up. I mean, I got a 315 average, up $10 a share. I've got no hurry to leave any of these. Same with CCRN. I'm using a close below the 20, which is really a close below those two wicks, and the 20's already above that. So either way, this is a nice bright green trade. IRDM, same deal. Yeah, I use ADR. Look, and here's the thing, right? Like CCRN is a 7% mover a day. You know, AMLX is like been averaging 9% a day. BSM 3.5. Like some are slow, some are fast. So, you know, I guess if you average it out for my portfolio, they're all somewhat fast enough. Like AEHR moves 9.5% a day. So I try not too much to think about it because I know that overall I've got a pretty good mix of names that move fast and move slow. You know, really for me, it's all a matter of sizing. You know, I know some of these are more expensive, and I know some of them move a little bit slower, but like CAH, you know, I was risking 50 cents. So, you know, I want more shares, but it's basically a, you know, a full-size position. You know, it's 3,000 shares. So I'm right, you know, basically at the 200K position that I normally like taking. So yeah, they're a little bit slower, but I'm making sure that if they are slower, I'm sized properly. You know, meaning I take, you know, I more so think about what's my potential loss versus anything. And, you know, I make sure that I'm taking a proper size loss too. If I'm going to take one. So I do buy my size, but you know, I just don't want to add to some of these. And yeah, I mean, ADR is super important, but then that's where you got to learn about position sizing. How much of something are you going to buy? You know, where something like CAH can be a 200K position right away, you know, something like AEHR, you know, it was like a 130K position when I got in. So there's a difference. You know, because one moves super fucking fast and the other one's a little bit slower. So I have to make sure that I'm sized in properly for it. But yeah, I don't want to be in the slowest movers ever, right? I don't want to be. But also at the end of the day, and especially in a market like this, I would rather be in a stock moving 2% a day and going up. And, you know, I've got the general direction nailed, and take that proper, like a little bit bigger size if I have to, dollar wise. But I still know my potential loss. Like, I'm not going to sleep bad at night if I took a $1,500 or $2,000 loss on CAH. I'll be just fine. But if these 3,000 shares end up going $4, $5, $6, everything's gonna be perfectly fine. Before some trims, and I believe this thing could easily go to 74, no problem. It's a $5 move. It's 7-1 on my risk reward. And again, a stock like this, now that I've gotten the, kind of the direction of the move that I'm in, I mean, you could literally start to move up your stop. Your stop does not have to be break even or low a day anymore. It could be a close below the 50 on the hourly, the 20 on the hourly. Fact is all time frame moving averages are moving up. Maybe minus like the 1 minute chart, which is totally irrelevant. But every other time frame from the daily to the 60 minute, all the moving averages are moving up. So I don't have to leave my stop at low of day if you feel like you're in a shitty market, right? And because you might have taken a little bit bigger dollar amount than you'd normally be comfortable. But fact is something like CAH, I'm already over 1-to-1 on my risk reward, and it's a setup I would take all day long, and you could start to inch up your stop if you'd like. I know some people just scalp these opening range highs. Like, they might go on a smaller time frame and say, all right, well, when this thing closes below the 10 on the 5 minute, I'll exit. So at this point, no matter what, it's a 70, 80 cent winner. And you're willing to watch, 40, 50 cents come back. When you were risking 50 cents, and so you could day trade that shit too, but I won't. It's a nice setup. You just got to sit tight. Like I said, fact is they've got solid fundamentals. They're in the right space. They had a nice setup, nice low cheat. Had already shown you that they can make a big move up, and then it's just consolidated for the last month. The weekly probably looks pretty damn good on this. Yep. Finding support on the rising 10. I mean, it's got a lot of shit going for it. So yeah, something like CAH, if you're nailing your entry and the stock begins to work for you, you can take your full 10% position right away, like I did basically, and be just fine. The losses, totally an acceptable loss. But it was a nice low cheat setup. It was perfect. Couldn't ask for anything better. Honestly, slow or not, it's really what I love. That's WWE, man. Love it. Nice cup and handle. We'll see if this one ends up working too. And if market bounces for a couple days, I mean, I'll be getting some nice trims off, much higher. And then these names will be able to pull back with the market. So that's always really nice too if you think about it that way. If the market bounces, these are already showing tons of resilience to a downtrending market. If the market bounces for just a few days, these things will push out way higher. You'll get the opportunity to trim, and then these will pull back and hopefully find support on rising moving averages as our market pulls back again. If it pulls back again, I have no idea. Or the market can just push higher, give a follow-through day, and then these names are already gone before the market ever gave a follow-through day. If the market pushes 3-4 days in a row and then gives a follow-through day, these names are gone. Absolutely gone. You know, Lily will be probably at 350, and AMLX will probably be at fucking 40. You know, CCRN will probably be 36s or better. You know, so it's like things like that I think about. You know, the market's
CGLO.
getting its ass destroyed,
CGLO.
yet some of these names are chilling near all-time highs. You know, with virtually no overhead. You know, there's really like no pissed off investors in WWE. You know, so there's not people just flying to sell this thing. Why? Because their stock's just steady going higher. Steady going higher. And the market sucks. And it's like, man, if your stock's steady going higher in a shitty market, imagine if you didn't have a shitty market. You know, that's how I look at it. These names are already sitting up here next to no resistance, no pissed off investors, and the market's going down. You know, this is one of the few places you'd want to park money. You know, you'd be like, man, my stocks are just going up in this crappy market. You know, I'm never selling these. I mean, literally, that's almost like the attitude. I couldn't imagine if the market were healthier. You know, you'd be in absolute monster stocks already. Stocks that are already bucking the market trend. This one might be a nice ad over, 305 later, if it gets up there. And guys, when you see something like CAH2, as lucky as I'm feeling right now, this is the scenario that you want for your stocks that are breaking out, right? Not to mention, if this is going to continue to act strong, the expectation isn't that this thing comes back on me, right? Strong stocks are supposed to, and I say that with air quotes, they're supposed to go out and stay out. That's a real breakout, right? That's how you know. It's why I don't wait for dips. It's why I don't wait for the stock to come all the way back to that level. You know, that would, in my opinion, if I bought this thing as it's breaking out and it comes all the way back to where it started, that's not a signature of a strong stock. So,
Yo, Ariel.
yo, you were muted, son.
That's so fucking weird.
Huh?
No, for some reason I got the new AirPods and
Uh,
for some reason I can't hear you or I can't speak out loud on my phone.
well, welcome.
Yo, did you
RT.
AbbVie?
Yeah, I'm trying to call it up to you at 1:39.
Oh, wow. Oh, nice. I bought CAH this morning. Peep that one.
Yo, dude, I've been watching all day.
Yep. 69.10 for a player. That's what I'm talking about. I don't I mean, I got 3,000 shares, so it's not like I'm, killing it or anything, but
Yeah.
it's a nice start.
This market, I'll take it.
I'll take it all day. And again, I don't know what this market's going to go on to do from here, but my positions are acting right. Oh, and I bought WWE this morning. But yeah, CAH is a beauty. So again, yeah, I'm not looking for this. Some people are waiting for dips. I'm looking for strong stocks that are going to break clear pivots and then go and not come back. Right. And so, if you really are onto a winner, you could start to edge your stop up slowly. This thing shouldn't come back on you. Yeah, they're not supposed to. If you studied some of the best breakouts ever, they go out and they stay out. They don't come back. This isn't, if you studied the biggest winners in the market, coming out of a nice clean base or a low cheat or in a healthy market, whatever, etc., in the right sector, like if you've actually studied those, you know as well as I do, they don't come back. Right? So you just buy the fucking breakout, you size in properly, you know what your loss is before you're going to get in, and you just sit down, sit patiently, shut up, and just follow your stock with some colorful little lines on your screen. You've already done your job. You already located the right spot to get in. You already bought the right size. You did it because it was a stock in the right sector. The market is kind of pushing a little bit higher today, which, again, not really, but, kind of. And this is what a breakout is supposed to look like. Again, that's not to say it can't come all the way back on me. But my stop is not going to be low of day. You better believe that. This stock is at worst, small green. At the very worst, small green. But green, for sure. It's going to be a green trade. And in this market, we'll take green trades all day. Yeah, CAH looks like an absolute fucking powerhouse. Yeah, so when you're in a downtrend, that's all you're really going to get, right? Is, if you get a 3 to 5 day momentum burst, that's awesome. But yeah, by day 2, and here's the thing, if CAH puts in another candle like it does today, tomorrow, and this thing gets to 73 by tomorrow, I'm already going to be getting out some. If this thing gets to 6% gain, 5.5%, 6% gain, when I was only risking, 0.7, that's a 10 to 1 risk reward. I'm going to start to peel some, right? I'm going to start to peel some. I'm going to wait for another little proper entry, and then I'll probably add. But here's the thing. I won't trim much. I'll trim a third, and then I'll just trail the rest. But if I can trim up and, lock up, 4 or 5 grand, great, and then just hold the rest. That's, again, an ideal scenario. But this stock is doing everything you would expect a strong stock to do. It made a move up. It went sideways, got tight, gave you a nice little low cheat setup. A strong inside day, and then it's taking off today. The setups are the same, guys. Small, slight variations of the same thing over and over and over. That's all it really is. Slight variations of the same shit. And yeah, I should be taking maybe more than a third of the position off, but some names I trust a little bit more. I like a little bit more than others. Like CCRN, I only sold, like 40%. I actually did sell a little bit more. AEHR, I sold 30%. I probably should be trimming halves, 50%, probably. Like VRTX, I haven't sold anything, which I probably should have on day 3, but I didn't, and I don't really want to. Lily, I've traded pretty well. I'm just being patient with it. AMLX, I haven't sold anything. Yeah, I'm trying to be as patient as I can with most of these. But yeah, look, I do agree with you that I probably should be trimming more. But here's the thing, man. Our market's a little overcooked to the downside, and I'm still expecting a somewhat of a significant rally. That's just my own opinion. So, I'm not like operating on anybody else's thoughts or ideas there, but it is my own opinion. And, I believe that if I can find the right stocks, like a CAH potentially or a WWE, that are going higher before the market even gives that oversold rally, and it could, I could end up in a stock that just ends up, going super far away from my average if that market gives that relief rally, and I could very well be locked into a big long-term mover, and that's really what I'm trying to find, and I want to do it with my full size. I don't know if it's going to be this REGN or this AEHR or CCRN, AMLX. It could be any one of these. The CCRN's acting righteous. So, yeah, I want to be as patient as I possibly can be with a majority of my size. Besides, I was only risking, like I said, less than $2,000 on CAH. And I'm already up, 2-to-1 plus on the risk reward. So, I'd like to catch a $20-$30 move on this thing with close to full size. That'd be amazing. That'd be almost like a 40 or 50-to-1 risk reward kind of trade. But you're not going to get it if you just start taking off too much. So, I just want to be patient. As patient as I can be anyway. But yeah, it's such a subjective thing, man. I know these conditions are shitty, but they've gotten too stretched to the downside. So conditions are shitty, but I've still been under the expectation that we get an oversold rally. If we were to get like a full week rally, let's just say, this CAH is going to 75. I mean, there's no question about it. But it's all market dependent, honestly. We are in such a shitty market, and I probably am trying to be a little overly patient, but I'm going to be overly patient with stocks that are totally bucking the market trend. If this market capitulates, then everything's going to come back lower, and I'll be a little bit regretful that I'll have seen gains go back like that, but you know what? Sometimes you got to grab your balls and hold on. Yeah, the CAH is no joke. It's beautiful. Woo. CAH was perfect. Literally. What a fucking move, too.
CTX. MINM. KTRA.
HKD can go to 80. I mean, I expect some resistance right here at 60, but over that, close to 80.
Step.
Yeah, AMLX is. My positions are acting incredible. and it's all part to the market, really. I am in some good names though. I'm in some really nice names. An AMLX I refuse to sell. I'm just gonna trail it. I'm hoping the 20 catches up to my average soon, but for now I'm just using the 10. As soon as I get an opportunity to trim a little bit, I will. I haven't trimmed anything on this name. I just never bought too much, so that's just why I want to be as absolutely patient as possible. I mean, I was up yesterday, 12% on it, and I didn't sell anything. So I'm just trying to be more patient with it because my size isn't the best. It's really small size. 2,000 shares, which realistically is like, like a third or a fourth of what I'd like to own in this name. So unfortunately, it's acting well, and I'm up a nice dollar amount on it, but really, it's a small position, so I just want to be as absolutely patient with it as possible. Even the 10's now well above my average, and the stock's, just in a nice healthy uptrend, and I don't know, just got to be patient. We'll see. Unlike the CCRN where I already trimmed, that also looks awesome. So I just gotta be patient. BSM, nice way to bounce back. Held this 10 like a charm. More than likely, I'll now end up using the 20. I sold a tiny little piece, and my stop is only 20 cents underneath my my average. We'll see. Same deal with AEHR. For now, I'm just still going to respect my stop. Today's low of day. CAH, man. Beauty. That's a breakout right there. I wish they were all that easy. Super tight entry, super tight risk when you got your entry, and then pushes away. Very nice on day one. Absolutely no stress from the second I bought it. I mean, that's just it's textbook. It's how you want to feel on a breakout, and in a healthy market, you'll have so many of these. You'll have so many of these nice setups in a true healthy bull market. So it's we'll see. No reward just yet. Oh, okay. Here's another one that was on my list. $25, $2 risk, huh? Okay. God, this thing's so fucking thin. Man. This damn thing's damn near untradeable, honestly. That sucks. Such a nice chart, too. That sucks. This CQP's nice. I just can't take it, which is unfortunate. PLTR 2-day high. Yeah, I'm not focused on Palantir. I know all about them too. It's just there's no setup there yet. No setup there just yet. There might be later, but down the road, 4 months from now, or whenever. But for now, I'm focusing on things that look like CAH. This is where the least amount of headache's going to come from. Don't really have to guess my entry. Don't really have to oversize. Don't really have to stress the trade. It's the scenario I want to be in. Or WWE. This thing was a beauty too. Cup and handle setup is literally perfect. It's textbook cup and handle. A setup all you guys could study too. Cup and handle setup. It's talked about like in every trading book in history. So that's a cup and handle setup right there. It's more so a matter of the market, but it's just the textbook cup and handle. Doesn't get much easier than that setup right there. And CAH. Sure, of course there's inverse cup and it's just what a cup and handle looks like. Just flip your chart around. Like if you use Thinkorswim and you put a little minus sign before the ticker symbol, it'll flip your chart around. If it looks like a good long setup, but it's really breaking down, it should look like it would be a good short setup, as long as it looks like a nice long setup. But I'm not really focused on things that are going down right now. The market's already stretched too far to the downside, and there are already names that are showing plenty of strength. I want to be in the names that are already making 52-week highs, basically, in this shit-ass market. You know, study the biggest movers in history. They come from bear markets. They're already bucking the trend before, the bear market's done. You know, they may not be breaking out, but they're chilling near 52-week highs. Something like this AMLX or CCRN or IRDM or, even VRTX. I mean, they may not work, but they're basically hanging out near 52-week highs, and look at what the market's doing. Essentially at 52-week lows. You don't have to be a total rocket scientist to figure out what stocks are going to continue when this market's done dumping. It's the stocks that are hanging out above these moving averages. And that's why you go back and study a chart like DAC, right? Once a chart gets over its 200, and then you're in a healthy market, which DAC pretty much did its entire run in a healthy market, pretty much all the end of 2020 and most of 2021. I mean, this thing just went fucking nuts, right? How do we know that can't be REGN? That just got, it's over its 200, or even an AEHR. How do we know this can't be the next big leader, next big mover? It just got over its 200 not long ago, building out a beautiful flag again on the daily. None of us really know, right? CAH above its 200, built out really nice flag. Like, how do you know that where this is at isn't how this DAC was down here? Right here. When it's above its 200, built out another nice little flag, higher lows, got tight. You either bought it in the mid 13s or you bought it as it broke out over 15, and it just ends up going bananas for you. Again, how do you know that that's not CAH or AEHR? How do you know it's not this one? So I don't want to focus on names that are in a downtrend, like PLTR. I want to be in the names that are already showing the most amount of strength, above their 200. That's where the biggest moves are going to come from. Stocks above the 200, not from below. And I know below it feels like we're getting a deal, but fuck the deal. We don't need a deal. We just need a nice setup above moving averages in the stocks that are in the right sector. Reason that CAH is working so nicely, one, it's a beautiful contraction pattern, right? Higher lows. right? Beautiful contraction pattern, higher lows, above moving averages in the right sector, and the market's pushing higher today. PLTR is just going to run into all sorts of overhead, as it runs into those declining moving averages. AZO, AutoZone. I mean, it's a $2,000 stock. This isn't one that I'd normally want to buy. But yeah, I mean, this and O'Reilly was another one that I saw. Yeah, it looks just like O'Reilly. These are like forever uptrenders. This thing will probably go to a 2,000 as well. I mean, who the fuck knows? 1,200 probably in a year. But no, I'm good. It's a nice setup though. It's a strong name. It's not a nice setup, but it's definitely a strong name. I like the look of this Allstate even more. Created a clean base, tried shaking everybody out, and every time just now started to put in higher lows, shaking the base right above the 200. Got tight yesterday. The weekly looks awesome on this thing. It's a different kind of a chart, not one I normally trade, but clearly finding support on the rising 200. Allstate, interesting stock. I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely some interesting names out here. Merck, another one. MRK. I was looking at this one yesterday, and I really love the gap up. Found tons of support built out a new base right against the 200 and gapped up on big volume yesterday. See this big volume stick in comparison to the last couple? Those are accumulation candlesticks. You see these? Institutional footprints. Can't miss them. Yeah, MRK, which again, what is it? It's another pharmaceutical company. So, you guys wonder why I want to be incredibly patient with VRTX and REGN? Because these are the leaders in that space, right? Same with, another name that looks awesome is Molina Health, MOH. I bet you UNH doesn't look too terrible. Maybe finding support on the rising 200, but this name's in a forever uptrend too. Every time it comes down to the 200, it just continues on higher. Every time. Maybe minus the exception of one little time, and then it bounced from there right away. So I won't be too surprised if United Healthcare's higher from here soon. AbbVie tried to break down, putting in a big old green day today. Moving averages are super fucking tight. Super tight. I don't know, but again, in the right sector, one of those leading names makes insane amount of money. We'll see. Damn CQP, man. It's just too fucking thin. The CQP is such a nice chart too. It's too bad. This thing's definitely going to 70.
ASMB.
We'll just see how this acts later. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, I don't really see a whole lot more for me to do today, honestly.
Yuga. Yuga.
Here's another one that looks really nice on the daily is this IONS. Just also too thin for me, unfortunately. I mean, I would take 1,000 shares just like as a flyer, fifth size position, just to own some in this damn name. But this IONS does look nice. Very nice. Honestly.
FORZ.
Tried shaking out this morning. Essentially found support on the rising 50. Now it's taking out yesterday's highs. That's where I had my alert set.
BTOG. BTOG. back, back. Back.
But honestly, I wouldn't add ions. It's too thin for me. Another one, unfortunately. Just too thin. This BSM's acting awesome too. AMLX. Strongest name I have. Yeah, I don't really see anything else to do, guys. I guess I'm kind of lucky in this situation. My names are mostly acting well. I don't really gotta stress them too much.
Back, back.
Everything's just kind of hanging on.
Back.
Best case scenario. And this market still looks terrible, so I'm still being a bit more cautious with my size, but if I'm getting tight entries, I'm still taking them aggressively, if that kind of makes sense. Like, I'm not being gun shy. I'm just taking my positions. Even if they're on smaller size.
Back. Back, back.
Do. I don't see much more to do. I really don't. Boring day. Boring day. But it's nice to see my positions doing well or bouncing where they're supposed to. Like I really did not want to sell Lily at all. Not to mention I did watch $17 come back on a pretty big friggin' position.
TGLO.
So
TGLO.
but it's bouncing where it's supposed to. You know, the stocks that are areas where you'd expect your stocks to find support, that's exactly what some of them are doing. You know, building higher lows, finding support on the rising 20.
CSMF.
It's
EMED.
it's definitely a welcome sign.
TGLO. TGLO. EMED.
Guys, I think I might be done for the day, honestly. My positions are acting well, and there's really nothing else for me to do other than just to hang out, be patient. Guys, be safe out there. If you took CAH this morning, amazing work. It was one of the top watches. ALB, even if it triggers today, I probably won't take it. But I do like, again, that it's holding the rising 50. It's potentially putting in higher lows, and this is a really nice tight day. So if this tomorrow decides that it wants to take out 275 or 276, I'll be all over it instead of 278. So yeah, if this one decides tomorrow over 275, I'm just kind of hoping it puts in this nice tight day, this nice tight red day. It's exactly what it would be. ALB will be a top watch again tomorrow. It's not breaking down. It's finding support kind of where you would expect. You know, it's building out this nice little flag on the daily. You know, it's really nice. Actually, it's really nice. But it'll have to be taken out 276 tomorrow. If it's doing that, it'll be the only other name that I will want to own. It definitely was a top watch today, but it won't be something that I decide to get into. I would rather see it set up one more day. It would be even nicer tomorrow. You know, WWE and CAH were about as nice as setups as we were going to find and get, and they're working. So no need to increase exposure any more than that today. Honestly, no need. We could just wait for tomorrow. And hopefully we get a nice tight day. Here's WRB hitting that alert. Probably a pass for me, honestly. You know, as nice as this thing is, as nice as this thing looks. What do we got there? $2 risk. You know what? I could take a quarter position here too. Realistically. It's just kind of slow. It's kind of slow. But it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. We'll see what happens. We're going to use this pivot low down here. Just took quarter size. See what happens. Nice chart. Nice looking chart. Just quarter size though. Not getting aggressive with it. Just widened up the stop a little bit. It seemed to have held the 10 really nicely here. So we're gonna let to see if that pivot low will hold. You know, it's basically the 20 at this point, which is great. Just the scenarios I like finding myself in, honestly. But smaller size. If it works, great. If it doesn't, tiny loss. But it definitely looks nice. Same with this Allstate. They're not perfect, but this Allstate Daily is just crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a base like this. We'll see. WWE too. I mean, there's just there's just some nice shit going on out there today. Honestly. And we'll see what holds. We'll see what doesn't. Anyway, guys, until tomorrow, don't do anything crazy. And, yeah, just size properly, guys. Anything you decide to take, just please size properly. You know, and set your stops and respect your stops. Always. You know, there's going to come a time when these setups are going to pay tons of money, and there's going to be an abundance of them. So, anyway, we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.